Hey everybody, Travis Pfeiffer here, bringing you another Deck Tech Talk. Wanted to talk about one of the things that's just totally, I don't know about you, but I hear a lot of noise coming from next door, and it's probably your neighbors. It's because they're having this big old party. So go out there and tell them to turn it down, but I don't know if they'll listen. So we got this wonderful new Bartz and Opus XII, good old party Bartz. So there's a deck based around him and his good buddy Boko, so we'll just go ahead and jam them out there right away. These cards just have incredible synergy, and they've just given so much life and energy to basically any one-cost forwards that exist in the game. So when Bartz is on the field, any one-cost forward you have automatically has haste, and then when he forms a party with anyone, just on the declaration of the party, you get to search your deck for any one-cost, bring it right to the field, which of course isn't going to have haste with him, so boom, he's going in. Now, what makes it even better is this good old buddy Boko here. Boko gives Bartz haste and 1,000 power. So not only does he get to 9k, which means he's out of Amaterasu range for death, which is great, Boko's going to give him haste. So you Bartz Boko on the same turn, boom, they instantly go in. Not only do you get that search, if a party you control deals damage to your opponent, you also get to draw a card. So Bartz and Boko just enable all kinds of shenanigans of just flooding the board with these forwards, and then you're getting card draw back on top of it. It's crazy. It's this really interesting aggression, and it's just made party attacking so fun. So who do we got to help him out here? Well, let's get some more Chocobo buddies for Boko here. We've got this nice one-cost Chocobo. Anytime he forms a party with someone, it gives every forward in the party 2,000 power to the end of the turn, and that is fantastic. I mean, I've had him party with just Boko before, which normally it's these little, a 3k and a 3k. That's a 6k party. Like, there's plenty of forwards who could block that easily. But because of that bump, suddenly he's busting up 2. Plus, you're going to see we got a Celestia backup. That's giving him another 1. I mean, you can get these two up to a 12,000 power party on their own. That's pretty lethal to your opponents. Next, we got Black Chocobo. Anytime he forms a party with someone, it becomes unblockable. So, I mean, we've had some turns. Bartz and Boko are already on the field. They party together, and you've got this guy's on the field. Black Chocobo comes in. Suddenly, you've got an unblockable party coming at your opponent that instantly deals them point. It's going to deal them with point damage, draw you cards. It's just fantastic. And Black Chocobo becomes such a threat that anytime you've got something unblockable, your opponent's going to have to spend some of their removal to stop it. I was playing Ice against this very deck the other day. I was testing against my girlfriend, and I had to choose a forward to freeze. And I was like, well, who do I freeze? Do I freeze Bartz or do I freeze Black Chocobo? He's going to keep getting more forwards, but, that one's going to hit me for damage. I'm already on 5. So it's a great threat. Another one, our first dip into water here. We got 2 copies of the Water White Mage, who on his own or her own is just very, very sticky. I think that's Ingus, actually. Yeah, I think that's Ingus. I think that's a boy. But so minus 3,000 for any damage. Anytime this forward takes damage, it's minus 3,000. And then when they party up, it's minus 3,000 for the whole party. So again, you could just party this with this Chocobo. Not only is it getting this power buff, but they can't even kill it. And that was kind of a fun thing to see playing against this. Like, oh, I can block it with an 8k. I can't even kill anything because it's going to take reduced damage. Feels fantastic. Speaking more for reduced damage, we got 3 copies of the Green White Mage here from Opus 5. Easily one of this deck's biggest threats is kind of big board wipe damage, big pings. So this White Mage, you can sack it at any time to protect your board from damage from summons or abilities. So that's great. Again, you could just party with it normally. It's going to have haste. But just the fact that you always have that instant, oh, you're going to drop a Fina on me? I don't think so, White Mage. Or, you're going to hit me with an Afrida or a Cyan Cleave or something. Nope, White Mage is going to save me. So these are kind of your main ones. 2 little tech options. One version of this Viking. It sucks he's such a small body, but he's still a body, so if he's pulled out with Bartz, that's instant haste. And then the moment he leaves the field, he's going to draw you a card. So he's just going to filter into that draw mechanic. And finally, 1 copy of Yuffie as well. Again, just another unblockable threat. She can't be blocked by forwards of 3 or more, so just another threat that says, hey, look out, and she's going to have haste, so she can be a game ender. Also going with this whole party mechanic is the absolutely wonderful legend Yoona, or brand new Yoona. So this card, this is just, it's such a threat of a card. You always want to play it main phase 2 if you're able to, after you've partied, because that means you get to draw 2 cards. Party doesn't even have to deal them damage, just whatever it resulted in. As long as you declared a party, you draw 2 cards. Her action ability lets her party with people of any element, or she'll change elements, so you can make her party up with wind. And then when she parties, based on the number of people in the party you have, you choose one of their forwards, and it loses 4,000 based on your forward. So if she parties with Black Chocobo, that's an unblockable party. There's 2 people in it, so you choose one of their targets minus 8,000. She's incredible. Again, she's just this another threat that they're going to have to spend removal on or do something, because you cannot let her keep swinging into you. She's going to be taken out at one of your forwards, possibly dealing you damage as well. She's a beast. So also going in with the party theme is good old Rosa here. Rosa, when she parties with someone, will reactivate, and then she can attack again. So in theory, you can party with as many forwards as you have on the board, and Rosa's going to keep reactivating. And again, if we have our Celestia out, it's going to keep powering up the Rosa, so she'll just get stronger and stronger on her own. Prey, so there's a perfect balance of 25-25 wind water in this deck. So Prey is not a guarantee to land, but on the offhand, you kind of need that Hail Mary. You got to reactivate everybody. Prey's always there. And then again, she reduces damage to all forwards by 1,000 power. So her partying with the White Mage, or just having the White Mage party with this White Mage while she's on the board, it's minus 4,000 to that entire, like, that's just crazy. It's a great amount of damage reduction. And one of my personal favorite cards in Water that's really getting a resurgence right now is this Cloud of Darkness, which is, you know, when I first joined, it was pretty easy to get a lot of forwards out, especially in Water. So this Cloud was great because she's, you know, killing someone based on the number of forwards you have. And then it kind of got hard there for a while. There's so much board wipe and things. It was just really hard to keep forwards out. But again, this deck can get them out so quickly through Bartz and through all the cards you're going to draw. So it's really easy to make Cloud live with at least 8k, if not more. And again, if Cloud parties with Yoona, that's double reduction you're doing. Like, crazy, crazy good stuff. So those are the forwards that we've got in the deck. 1 copy of Sildra. Sildra can, of course, pull out any water card, any water character in this deck, but also pulls out 5 characters, which is quite a few. This one is 5, it's water anyway, but she can grab Bartz and Boko. Bartz and Boko are both category 5, as well as Black Chocobo. So these 3 wind characters, Sildra can grab as well. And being able to grab the combo of the deck, Bartz Boko, is fantastic. 3 copies of Famfrit. Famfrit's always, always at least a summon water, someone worth considering. It's an EX burst. There's not much burst in this deck, so it might be a little tricky if you really fall behind. Burst probably aren't going to save you for the most part, but Famfrit I don't think has ever felt better than to play it in this deck, because with the way it works, you are almost always going to have more forwards than your opponent. So Famfrit will almost always be beneficial for you, which is great, because Famfrit's at his best when you have more forwards than your opponent does. Unless, of course, you have 0 and they have 1. But so because you're like, yeah, I'll happily sack off this Viking, I'll get rid of this White Mage, and they have to lose, a Genesis or a Sephiroth or whatever. And then finally, 3 copies of the new Remora. When I first was trying this card, I was a little unsure, just because it's so expensive to cast, but it's a burst, it's great on a burst, it draws you a card, and in testing, again, this deck draws so many cards through Boko and through Andoria and through Yoona that it was actually, even with as expensive as it is, it was really easy to keep enough cards in hand to really get a good power reduction on that. So I really ended up enjoying this Remora a lot. When it comes to backups, we've got 1 copy of Fat Chocobo. His targets are, of course, any of these forward Chocobos, and then he can also immediately bring into play this new Party Chocobo, as well as Chocolate. Chocolate, you can just tap her, put an item counter on her. This Party Chocobo, you can tap him, or the turn he enters, he lets people of any element party together. So again, your water and winds can party together. Won't even have to change that turn. Really nice. 3 copies of Backup No-No. Once you get him down, in the party mechanic, I couldn't really appreciate this until I saw it live. And so I was playing against my girlfriend the other day, and she would party attack with someone, declare party attack. Okay, that means no triggers twice. You get 2 reactivations. And so she would go activate Chocolate, item counter. Second activation, activate Chocolate, item counter. So just from declaring a party attack, she now has the ability to draw a card with Chocolate. And any attacks beyond that, it just means more counters for her, or just drawing your cards outright. And she was just drawing cards constantly. Felt great. In theory, you can use this for Chocobo bumping, but I don't find that as relevant here as it is in like my Ice Chocobo deck. 3 copies of Andoria. So whenever a party you control deals damage to your opponent, draw a card. If you got Boko out, you are drawing 2 cards, which feels great. If you go second, and in your starting hand you have Bartz, Boko, and Andoria, and you're able to get out all 3 of them, like you have the right CP to pay for that, that is a great, great play. You know, pitch your water, put down Andoria, pitch 2 for Bartz, pitch 1, get out Boko, you swing in with both, boom, you're going to deal damage, you're going to draw 2 cards, you're going to get another forward out, it's going to go in, so you're going to deal your opponent 2 points of damage, get a backup, draw 2 cards, like, it's incredible. Feels great. And then here's the Celestial we mentioned earlier. Anytime a party you control, anytime forwards you control form a party, every forward in that party gains 1,000 power. And again, with a lot of these smaller guys, that's actually pretty relevant because it allows them to stay alive. So normally, again, it would be really easy to just block these guys. She can help them stay alive by really getting their power up there. And then we have 1 copy of Echo. Echo is just great because it's against an EX burst. There's only 7 bursts in the deck. The 3 Remora, 3 Famfrit, and the 1 Echo. And it's just a good solid win backup. Draw a card, scry, reactivate a key forward, backup, whatever you got to do. And finally, for fun, 1 copy of Hilda. I don't get to use it a whole lot, but it's just, again, you get to draw a card for every forward you control up to a maximum of 4. And I've had that sometimes get 4 backups out. You know, I'll have 6, 7 forwards out because it's so easy to get so many of them out here in this deck. Drop a Hilda and then whoop, 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 you're just drawing cards for. I mean, it's very easy to deck yourself out with this deck, so just be kind of mindful of that. It's a very aggressive deck. It has some ways to come back from behind through Cloud of Darkness or Yoona or good card draw, or maybe one of your unblockable guys. But it excels at just rushing and pushing your opponent down. And that feels really good. Some tech options. There's a lot of other 1 costs. Some people will do multi-element ones, such as like, I've tried a version where I had like the Earth Borgin and a Snow in here. And I like those because of the power of those elements they get. But the one crummy part is, again, if you were to draw those cards naturally, which the way I play, I always would draw those cards naturally, and then I have no way to put them out there, so I gotta just chuck them. So I liked keeping it in Wind Water. It just made it very consistent. But it's really fun. You could tech in an Ishtola too if you wanted to cancel a Fina entry or cancel a big summon that might hurt you, but for the most part, I do very much enjoy the way this plays. Your hand's just going to be constantly full. You're going to draw. Bartz and Boko are just wonderful. They've been such a great, great fun addition to this game. And yeah, that's what I got. There will be a link to the deck list in the description below. Let me know what you think. I know there's tons of Bartz party decks out there of all kinds of flavors, so let me know what your favorite ones are. Feel free to share your favorite ones, ideas you have, because it's a good time had by all. So that'll do it, and I'll see you later. Bye!